All right, Falvin Winslow here, and welcome to another episode of Island Craft. Well, I guess I'm not working on the islands today. Today, I want to work a little bit on the interior of Babylon 5. It's looking kind of cool on the inside, but not actually how I want it to look. It's really just a inversion of the outside. And so I want to build some of the greenery that's shown in the show. And I'm going to start out with showing some clips from the show, just to give you an idea of where I'm going with this episode. And yay, I have my new mic, so this should sound good again.
Plaksano at Tanfe. Sabi ang grafito. Plaksa at 14,4.
Approaching Station 2. Please stand away from the doors.
Computer, emergency override. Open shuttle doors.
Vanna's name.
Oh my god. Emergency alert. We got an explosion in the core shuttle. We need rescue jetpacks and we need them now.
What are you trying to do?
He's more or less weightless, but the ground is rotating at 60 miles an hour. If we can't catch him, he'll be killed by the impact.
You won't have time.
Alright, so this is what the inside of my station looks like at the moment. Actually, I started on the interior, and apparently I did not record any of it. So, as you saw in that clip from Babylon 5, the station is huge and has a lot of greenery and housing and farming looking on the inside. Here's what I've gotten so far of making some of that greenery on the inside. So pretty basic. Mostly just using moss. I would just use like grass. I kind of do like the terrace versions up here, but that's not going to work all the way around. As you can see, the station is huge. I'm building up the inside here, and I'm planning on having, so the part up there where I started it just a moment ago, that'll be the docking station. Maybe have some ships and stuff in there, or some of the command crew area. And then down here, I'll have the greenery expand down out to here. I'm not sure how far. I think the greenery should stop around this side as I get to the end of the station. Sometime I'd like to get to the rest of the exterior station, get the solar panels on. That are one of the main features of Babylon 5. I ended up showing my Minecraft model to my dad, who, well, probably has never really seen Minecraft before, but when I tried to get him to guess what I was building, he had absolutely no idea, which is really depressing to me because he watched plenty of the show. And when I said it was Babylon 5, he's like, oh, you didn't have the panels on there, so I didn't recognize it. So, that was sad. Anywho, so I'll be focusing mostly on the interior this episode, unless I get distracted, as you have seen before. If you've watched any of my other videos, I do get distracted quite a bit. So maybe I'll start working on those solar panels just because I'm upset about my dad. But And I'll need to figure out lighting. I can buy some lighting that is invisible for the interior to get rid of these lights, but that's not the greatest plan because those cost 100 each, and that's a lot of lights. And even though I've got a 90,000 at the moment, building the station I can go through that money pretty quick, just by buying some of the blocks that are not as easily available, that I can't just mine on my own very easily, like the concrete, or what other blocks do I have a hard time with right now? The terracotta can be a little bit of pain. Both the concrete and the terracotta are $1 each, and with this build being, probably 100,000 blocks, that can get spendy quick. Actually, it's probably going to be bigger than that. Anyways, all right. Well, I'll get back to a montage and start talking otherwise. So, realize there's a lot of vertical stuff to do here in this build, and so lots more scaffolding. Anyways, I think we'll do some story time. Me and my wife were talking last night, and mentioning all the small world stuff that have happened in my life. So I figured I'd share one of those stories. In college, there was dancing once a week that you could just pay a little bit to get instruction, and there was a free dance afterwards. So a half hour for instruction and then like an hour for dancing. And I am pretty good at taking girls that don't know how to dance and making them feel like they know how to dance. And so I would find the wallflowers and take them out onto the dance floor and make them have an enjoyable time. Because I was good at leading in that, once again, for girls that didn't know how to dance. And there was this one girl in particular, her name was Cassie, that, I had a fun time dancing with. She just really went wherever I really wanted her to, she just followed my lead really well. And she was also a lot of fun to talk to. She was a storyteller like me, and so I danced with her a bunch. And at one point she found out that I didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving, since I didn't want to fly cross country to visit my parents. And she let her parents know, and they invited me to go to their place for Thanksgiving. And so that was in Colorado. And so her grandparents ended up picking us up and taking us down to their place I don't need to tell. But so I had Thanksgiving with them, and then I guess a pre-Thanksgiving with them, and then we went out to Colorado and spent it with her family. And during the trip, I realized that while she was really fun to talk to and was a storyteller, she just wasn't quite what I needed, as far as I couldn't go do a very in-depth conversations with her, even though it was fun to talk to her. And among some other concerns, I realized I didn't want to do it. So I was a horrible person and ended up ghosting her. Well, after about 8 months of being married to my wife, we were at my wife's great aunt's house, and going through some of my photos, and a photo of Cassie came up, and my wife's great aunt's like, "Oh, it's Cassie," and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, she's like here like every other week," and I'm like, "What?" Turns out that Cassie is my wife's second cousin. And her grandpa, who I had the first Thanksgiving meal with, actually received a wedding invitation. And when his wife passed away, my father-in-law was there and introduced himself, and my the grandpa was like, figured out who I was and was like, oh yeah, Ben, I guess I'll use my, he's like, yeah, he broke my granddaughter's heart. So, and it gets worse that there's been funerals in the family, and he's with this these past few years, and he's been at them, and I have been cringing and hiding from him. Anyways, yeah, the small world story. Anywho, so I guess I can talk a little bit about what's going on with the build. Putting the central beam in the station and building up with these towers, these support structures here. And I originally had this metal structure in the beginning. I had to redo and undo a lot of the stuff here because it just didn't look quite right. And as I played around with it, I tried a bunch of different things, and it was just not coming out good. I ended up having to redo a lot of it, and ended up being pretty pleased with the results. So yeah, you can see here I started doing the copper, and that looks a little bit closer to what was in the show from the clip I showed earlier, and really started liking it with having that copper instead of the iron bars. I ended up going back to the iron bars for rails for the cars, or the train cars that go across the station, and that ended up looking great. Yeah, so I just kept on expanding it down the station. It went down the entire length. Like I said, used these iron bars to give kind of a railing for the cars and whatnot. Had to, think about different colors for the cars and whatnot. Played around with a bunch of different things, and put the lighting down the entire length. Those frog lights look really nice, and cutting out some holes for getting off and on throughout the station. Here's me one of the attempts on the rail cars, and came out good. Really like the way it was looking. One of the problems with being a YouTuber is, you do go to all this trouble of recording videos of stuff you want to do so that you can make content or whatever else. And then something happens and you find out that all the videos that you've been recording lately have been blank. Yeah, including the last intro. I tried to do an extra talking about how, or outro, talking about how it sucks and how things are blank, and I forgot to double check to make sure the video was actually recording. And so I'm having to redo this. I'm gonna have to work late today because I'm doing this before work, because I'm redoing this. Anyways, so here's some of the stuff you missed. Behind me is a moss farm that I made based on I probably should check to see who that is. Let's see. Who? Shulkercraft? I'll put a link to it. I think this is the right one. I also took some inspiration from UForest. I'll put a link in that, hopefully, if I remember. So, tried a couple different things. Okay. Sorry. Let's see. So let's take a look at what I've got here. I've got hey! Oh, why am I so slow? I am running out of food and I don't have any on me. Yay. In any case, so I've got a farm here. I did not, you could make regular stone. You have a lava source here and water sources on both sides, and stone underneath, and underneath below the water source. So there's an empty space where the water can fill in, and then stone underneath that, and then lava on top of that, and it makes stone. which I didn't know you could make. I thought it only made cobblestone when you had lava hit water, but this is kind of cool. So those pistons shove it in as the moss is being made and break the blocks, and then water comes in and breaks all of the grass and stuff and takes it all into the hoppers. And then I've got a sorting system here. So the first 3 hoppers are so that I can grab the moss blocks, or some of them, and then the rest of them get turned back into bone meal and get refed back up there so that it's somewhat self-sustaining. It's not completely, but enough to get me lots of blocks. And I've already gotten 2 Shulkerberg boxes worth of moss blocks. It looks like I almost have another Shulker box worth. But it's a interesting design. It's got the little dropper elevator to get it all the way up. I've got a water stream that goes to a hopper to cut down on the number of hoppers, because there is a limit of 20 hoppers per chunk in this server. And so I had to redesign some of this because it was supposed to have a lot more hoppers, I think 24 hoppers, and I had to cut it down to 20. So I did some cost reduction. And then the sorting system was not in the original design, so that also cost me 3 more. So I guess would have been close to 30 hoppers, and I only have enough for 20. I've got this device that allows me to turn it on and off. And then I didn't know this. I guess I should have known since I've built some flying machines based on Mumbo's stuff. But normally sticky pistons take the block back and up and down with it. But in certain situations, it leaves it behind. And I'm not sure why that is. I need to figure that out. Because I haven't really shown a lot of redstone, but I do a bit of redstone. And so starting to understand how this all works. Yeah, so you've got your timer here thing. I think there's more efficient ones than this one, but this is the one that was in the original design. Then there's also the really quick timer here, which I like better than the one I usually use, because this one is turn offable because it uses a comparator rather than 2 redstone torches. So this is nice. They're really annoying and noisy though. Let me get away. Alright, let me go back to the actual build. This was just a side build to get me resources. Okay, so let's go to Babylon 5. I have changed it so that my chat menu, because I've been trying to turn it off and I just been unsuccessful with that. So I shrunk it so it's a little bit more out of the way. Sorry, people that are having their conversations shown online. Oh well. So I showed a little bit of this before. I've got my nice little walkway in the center, the central beam of the station, and then the frog lights, and then I added these tram cars that take people across the station. The station is huge. It's a mile in diameter, I believe, so that the wall right here would be going 60 miles an hour. So I need to do the calculations on it. I'm an engineer, so I would like to do the calculations on what would it be like to be in this tram, because your gravity here should be close to Earth gravity, but your effective gravity from the centripetal acceleration, the centrifugal force, would be really bad up here. I'm thinking that it would be like several gravities. So the show shows people just being able to walk around. I don't think that would be the case. That would be very uncomfortable. But I need to do the math. Anyways, got that all finished up. Got the supports for the central beam. In the show, I think those actually would be transport tubes to get down to the station from the tram stations. Oh, I need to build tram stations. Anywho, then I've added, as you can see here, some buildings. So I've got this one right here. I've got one right here. I'm not so sure about this one. I was trying to make something a little different. I don't really like the colors. And then I've got this one here. I found a picture online of a building, and so I had to shrink it because most of the skyscrapers online, or pretty much all the skyscrapers online, are, even the shrunk ones, are way too big for this build. You can see that I have very little clearance to the central beam, but it works out. I've got a ton of moss blocks to put in. You know, I can use dirt blocks down below, but the walls and the ceiling have to be moss, because it starts looking pretty rough, because the grass just doesn't show up. That's why I made the moss farm. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for coming and viewing my videos, whoever does. I do have a commenter now. I'll give a little shout out to him. His name, or her, I don't know actually. That person's name is, at least the tag online is Somalid. So appreciate you, Somalid, for giving me a comment. If anybody else is watching this, you're welcome to comment. I will give you a shout out until, if for somehow I get a lot of people actually watching these videos. But I'll give shout outs to anybody that gives a comment at the moment. So yeah, do so. Like and subscribe. I can build my channel more. I do these videos kind of more for myself, but I really love the idea of other people being able to see it. I enjoy that aspect, which is why I build on a server. Even though nobody's ever going to make it here with a server that's, you know, tens of thousands of blocks wide. No one's ever going to come here. I don't know if I've actually seen anybody here or not. Oh, that grass piece is getting in my way. There we go. Anywho, appreciate you coming visiting, viewing my videos if you are. And I love being able to share these things with people. This is Islandcraft with Falamulo, and keep it cool.